WWE. I want to get into it right away. We're not fucking around with light news, and we have some like ratings and attendances. So to get the boring stuff out of the way, Raw, for not this last Raw, but the one prior, if I'm not mistaken, the viewership data for the show featuring CM Punk and Styles was not available as it failed to crack the global top 10. The number 10 show, Bridgerton, I don't know, I've never watched it. People say it's a good show. Garnered 2.7 million views with 22.2 million hours viewed. Raw did rank number 6 for the US, the same ranking as the prior week. And as we mosey along here, we have more updates as far as viewership. So SmackDown scored its best audience in 5 months for last Friday. So this wasn't this last one. This was the last one. You know what I'm saying? SmackDown averaged 1.26 million, which was up 34%, with a 0.29 in the key demo, up 32%. It was the number one show in cable and primetime, topping the NBA game on ESPN. The audience was the best since 9/19/25, which was the week when Nielsen changed their big plus, blah, 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 blah. So year over year, it was down 20%, and the 18 to 49 down 43%. So again, numbers are just fluctuating for both of these companies right now. That's where streaming becomes king, in my humble opinion. If we're going to compare like AMC Plus to Max, HBO Max to Netflix or whatever, obviously Netflix is king in that regard, right? So moving along here. NXT ratings. So viewership on Tuesday was down from last week. However, it was still the second largest audience since mid-November. It averaged 629K viewers, down 7%. So NXT, I believe it was this one or this last one here, this past Tuesday. I think AEW edged them out. You think you know me, you think you know the ratings, and then Dynamite beats NXT. So people are parading it around. That's good, but it's about maintaining it. So again, we look at TNA, they're maintaining or taking a little bump. You know, they spike a rating on that AJ Francis main event with the 200,000. Okay, that's good. AEW is, again, we've tracked this. There's like 200,000 people that'll just pop in and out. I don't know if that's ideal. Dave wants you to believe all those people are on Max, but magically they'll just tune in to a Dynamite and they get an extra 200K. NXT is consistent, or it'll like pop a rating. It hasn't really had a huge fall off. And of course, if we're going to play, well, this was on, it's Valentine's Day. The only time you see NXT really do a bad, like take a dip, is when like there's something going on, but whatever. I don't even like to play these excuses or all this key demo. You know, I like to just look at the number. Okay, that's what it is. What was the highest quarter hour? Oh, what was the lowest quarter hour? Holy, let's like that to me is interesting. But when it comes to this, like a 0.08, like that's devastatingly bad, I would say, in any era of TV. And Dave is like, there's a huge boost. It's like, bro, on Collision, it's like, dude, the key demo was 0.03 or whatever. Like, I don't know, that we shouldn't be proud of this. Moving along here with ratings and possible attendance. So Raj Giri, by the way, shout him out. He's providing all these numbers. He says Nielsen updated their ratings data last week, which explains the bigger numbers for wrestling last week. Oh, really? Below are the numbers for wrestling last week with the new ratings methodology, with the prior week's number that's parents used the old methodology. And oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. So Nielsen's around. I don't know what's going. So he converted it into the new methodology because the old method. So SmackDown actually did 1.26 million viewers. Lex, what is going on?
Are you sure about that?
Lex, what's happening with all of this Nielsen ratings?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Me neither. I just want it to be steady again. Like, I don't care if it's Big Plus. I don't care if it's the old Nielsen. I don't care, whatever it is, as long as everybody agrees this is what the standard is. This is the best thing we can pull from. And then we all just go from there and it's consistent for a while. All this shake up, moving and shaking. I don't know, dude. There's over 1 million people watching SmackDown for sure. We know that.
Even if the number comes in 900,000, okay, it's over 1 million are watching that shit. Dynamite ain't beating that shit because we don't have any basis to go. We don't have anything to go off of with the Max numbers other than there's no way they're in the top 10 or they're the number one show. And so these number one shows, well, I mean, people have posted them. People have posted, like, they don't explicitly go, here's the top 10, but they'll be like, this show did this with this millions of views or whatever the fuck, simulcast. So, and we have NBA to pull from and shit. So unless AEW's beating all that shit on Max or coming close to it, which I don't think is the case, I wouldn't say it's beating SmackDown and all of that. But if they can keep this up, like a 653, you know, and if they can keep that up and maybe get up to 700 again, we're talking like, let's build here. I'm all about, let's turn this fucking ship around, but it's tough when like people are taking victory laps over Collision's old ratings. This is Collision. This Rampage did that number. Fuck are we talking about, man? So SmackDown though, yeah, I mean, a big part of me wants to be like, why aren't they doing 2 milli like before? But until this Nielsen shit gets consistent, I don't know. Is the no milli even true? Like, we could play that game all fucking day because people are like, SmackDown hasn't done a milli. Okay, but you're talking about the lower the numbers for the last week with the new ratings methodology. So it's 943. Okay, so when it did 970, whatever, and people were saying no milli, it was doing over a milli with the new thing. Is that what you guys?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm too dumb for this stuff, but shout out Rod. She's tracking it, and we will continue to track it for consistency, I suppose. Heller, moving along here. So Mark Shapiro, the WWE /UFC /TKO, what is he, the president of, or one of the guys, one of the presidents? Yeah, TKO president Mark Shapiro said WWE and UFC are $20 billion properties each. Now, remember when didn't Dave try to push a narrative that like AEW was worth 20 billion or 20? What was the number? Maybe it was 2 billion. I can't fucking remember, but it was like, I think in 2021 there was this narrative of like AEW's worth billions. Now he's saying these are each worth billions on their own. Yeah, I mean, I believe that. Like, imagine if they put a price tag on WWE or UFC for the Saudis to buy it outright. You know, like, let's say Turkey Al-Sheikh, like they're just buying it outright. Be objective for a second. You see a headline, you're walking down the street, you hear it on the news. UFC sold for 20 billion to the Saudis. Like, that makes sense, you know? I'd be like, oh sure, that fucking adds up. Or WWE sold for 20 billion. Okay. They're each worth 20 billion. Or they're 20 billion properties each. So I don't know, whatever business jargon he's throwing our way, I'm sure it makes sense in his mind, crunching the numbers. So we talked about NXT a little bit, just some announcements and some inside stooging, I guess. WWE sources have confirmed NXT Stand and Deliver will again be held on WrestleMania weekend. Saturday ahead of WrestleMania Night 1 is the current plan, which has been the tradition. So, guys, who's tuning in? Like, Tony Khan loves this. You know, Tony Khan's like, fucking, this is great. He loves all this wrestling, but fuck, man, they need to do Stand and Deliver, I think, a different day or night. I think with WrestleMania week being WrestleMania week and all, but is that robbing them of something if you just do it on like a Wednesday, but you go, fuck it, it's like a special on a Wednesday and we're just gonna, or pardon me, Tuesday for NXT, do it on Wednesday. See, that's, hey, maybe I'm onto something. Maybe your boy Phil is onto something. Like, that could be crazy. Is that robbing them of like their Tuesday show? Just being like, well, this is Stand and Deliver, but it's not a 2-hour window. It's just, here's the fucking, like, are you robbing them of their go home and all that? Or would that be better? I just think Stand and Deliver either becomes an afterthought or you get up, because I felt like last year we were up watching. Didn't I stream the whole thing? I think I streamed for like 10 hours that day. We did Stand and Deliver and Mania Night 1. And that's a lot of fucking wrestling to endure, especially with like Mania being that night. If you're a wacko, you're sitting there like, holy shit, man, I gotta like become explosive for Night 1 of Mania on top of this.
You know, where's the time to reset or anything? I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll for surely watch it. Like, it's just a lot of wrestling to consume in one. And this is supposed to be their WrestleMania. So it just kind of sucks that they can't figure out how to do this shit all a little bit better and like have the Hall of Fame be not after, because like won't the Hall of Fame will end up being after night one or after night two again or whatever the fuck. What was it after last time? I think night one, right? So it was like really late. Then they did that WrestleMania roast like really late after night two or whatever. I just think they could space this all out and make it like a week of stuff, you know? Do the Hall of Fame and Raw on the same day or some shit, you know, or maybe like the Hall of Fame can go on Wednesday, Stand and Deliver can go on Thursday. TNA guys will be pissed, but just give them their own time to do their shit. And then you got to get SmackDown in as the go home, and that's like been in the building that WrestleMania's in or nearby. It's just a lot. So I know Tony Khan is just enjoying the fuck out of these. Nobody loves WrestleMania weekend more than fucking Tony Khan, buddy.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, and I'm excited for Stand and Deliver though. Like that ladder match on NXT, that ruled. Joe Hendry's the champ. You got a lot of guys being introduced, just like a lot of guys are being tossed to the fucking wolves on the main roster as well. And it's been awesome to see. It's like a whole new, not whole new, but it feels like, oh shit, here's a rookie class coming in that's just on both sides, right? In the NXT front and on the main roster front. It's like you get this whole handful of new people that are kind of flipping everything up. Like even Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill being in the mix, like they're at the tippy top right now on the SmackDown side of things, like the WWE Women's Championship. It's Jade and fucking Jordan in the mix. It's kind of cool. It's crazy to think about if you think about WWE even like 2 years ago. In other news, Shawn Michaels appoints Robert Stone as the new interim GM of NXT. So rumors and innuendo are swirling around that Saraya could come back and possibly become the GM. She'd fit in that role. I think she was GM of SmackDown before. Robert Stone is a good pick. Just next time the shit goes down, I really hope that they do a storyline for it. You know, people are like applauding, oh, Ava isn't there. And it's like, that's fine if you're not like a big fan or whatever. But for people who are locked into the show, what the fuck? You know, you can't just like not do a kill off angle or something. And you guys know what I mean by that. Like she's banned from the territory or whatever. You got to do something. Can't just leave people hanging like that, man. I talked about it a moment ago. Joe Hendry, though, he became the NXT champion. Yes. And WWE, you guys got to do a thing like TNA and take a page out of their book and make clips like this available for content creators to use. Because, yeah, TNA's not bluffing when they do those video dumps. Like, they ain't flagging like crazy. TNA's like staunch about that shit, and they are not flagging like crazy. And I was playing those clips on the show. And every month they're releasing like a bunch of shit content creators are allowed to use. I would just say WWE, especially even if it's just for NXT. Even if you want to hog all the fucking Raw and SmackDown stuff, even just NXT would be a good look. But yeah, he did it.
Here's your winner and the new NXT.
We need guys like Joe Hendry in NXT to help like get the young guys over more or like polish their skills a bit against veterans. Like Joe Hendry is a veteran. He might not be like a main roster guy that everybody fucking well, lots of people know him, let's be honest. So much they think so much so that they put him on the cover of the 2K game. And I know people don't get that, but like he was added to PUBG Mobile and stuff. Like Joe Hendry's incredibly popular as like a meme and shit. Like people who probably don't even like wrestling probably have used Joe Hendry memes or pop for the fucking Joe Hendry thing. Speaking of NXT and people coming and going, should I stay or should I go now? Kelly Kincaid announced that she will no longer be with WWE as of February 14th. So heartbroken on Valentine's, dude. Kelly Kincaid, as of February 14th, I will no longer be under contract with WWE.
some people might be a little shocked by that. And she actually revealed a little bit about it, that she actually wasn't even offered a new deal. So, and I don't mean to laugh, but it's just like, what? WWE's just letting motherfuckers go. I heard an allegedly as well that like when the cuts come in May, like shit could be crazy. Like be ready for some craziness on WWE side about who's on the chopping block. So, and I don't know. That could all just be, I mean, people doom and gloom about it all the time.
Allegedly.
Just throwing that out there. Kelly Kincaid said she wasn't given the option to renew WWE contract. So I guess with Ava, Dave Meltzer revealed that, or I guess revealed, not as if he knows, but it was like they offered her money, but it was the same amount of money. And she's thinking to herself, well, I put in a body of work here, so why don't I should at least get a bump in money or whatever. But realistically, they just stuck her in that GM role because there's no real movement any other way. Let's just be honest. Like, she was okay in that role. I said it a million times on the show. Do I hate on Ava? Fuck no. Like, it's, if you're actually watching NXT, that's why I know Brian Alvarez is faking the funk, because she's just not that triggering. Like, trust me, I will point out triggering shit. All I do is get triggered by these fucking sickos.
Or, the
online.
young superstar, babyface, that former heel thing. So,
but she's really not that bad to get like so outraged over her fucking bad performance. Like, okay, there's way worse people, but she's just not really good in the ring. She's not the best talker. Like, they let her go. I don't care. Bring in a new GM. Just write her off TV at least. Like, any character. That doesn't apply to Ava. That's any character. With Kelly Kincaid, like, I'm not outraged or anything either, but just seems random. And then, like, the fact there wasn't even a choice of like, well, you can stay here for the same amount of money. There wasn't even that. There's like, nah, I'm true with you. So they just Jimmy Kinged her. Just kidding. Moving along here. So the Bella Twins declare their intention behind their WWE return during February 2nd's Raw. So they want the tag titles. Brie Bella is locked in for a little while, to say the least. And I think this is awesome. I think for the tag titles, the Bella Twins versus Rio at WrestleMania, that's perfect. Who knows if they'll flip them? Like, I could just see them becoming real dastardly heels, but they just play it babyface for a couple weeks to kind of get the pops out for Brie, the same way they did with Nikki Bella, which again, it feels kind of big showish on Nikki Bella's part, but it's WrestleMania season, baby. We got to get cooking. I'm really glad Brie's back. I did not see it coming whatsoever. After the Mr. Beast video, though, there was a reason I talked about it, and I wanted to point out, look, dude, Brie did pretty goddamn good. Maybe WWE sees that, and who knows? And maybe, I'm not saying that had anything to do with it, but hey, she's back. So it's good to hold out, to have faith, a little bit of optimism. And she came back. I know a lot of people are like, I don't care about the Bellas. I do. I'm a fan. And yeah, I definitely think they need to hold those tag titles, even if it's for like 2 months. Let's be honest. Nobody fucking holds those belts for that long. So excited that she's going to be around for a while. And other news of people coming and going, it is highly likely, this is according to Kakutolog, it is highly likely that both Evil and Hiromu Takahashi will move to WWE. WWE is further strengthening its roster and planning to expand into the Japanese market. And so this is from, I guess, a Japanese publication. I'm not sure what Kakutolog is. Or I'm saying it so wrong. Kakutolog. Yeah, the rumors are floating around that WWE is trying to move into Japan quite abruptly here. Now, again, whether that's a partnership with New Japan in any capacity, whether that's launching their own fed or just saying we acquired Noah and like AAA, that's our new whatever the fuck. I don't know. If Evil or Takahashi show up on Raw or SmackDown, that's cool for like a 1 or 2 off, but what are they really going to book, unless they give Shinsuke like an army of samurais, but then people will just shit on that and be like, oh, they're racialist. Will Evil get over? Maybe like on the main roster and shit. I don't know. I'd have to see them like do
do WWE style backstage shit and them adapt to it, which I think Evil would do a really good job of. I don't know about Takahashi. Like, he's just a crazy good wrestler. He's like a junior heavyweight who does crazy shit. Well, he can wrestle good, right? But they have a million good wrestlers. So could these guys be used in Noah to like help launch a new generation of guys we're looking at, like, oh fuck, this guy rules and that guy's awesome. That totally could be the case. Also, though, it's funny how both of these guys are guys, and I pointed this out a long fucking time ago. Like, Tone doesn't hype these guys up. Dave doesn't hype either of these guys
for,
up.
you know, the young superstar, you know, babyface, you know, that former heel thing. So.
And then immediately it's just like, well, they're going to WWE. They're going to WWE. They're going to WWE. But if it's like Gabe Kidd or one of these guys, Dave's fucking glazing them to death. They might go to AEW. They might go to WWE. Everyone in the world's interested in them. Dave, Gabe Kidd is in AEW. Like, we don't need to see the fucking graphic. He's on the show.
Best guy's Tony Khan.
Fucking, he's just randomly in matches. Like, we know what's going on. We're not fucking idiots like you. And then with these guys, like, you don't hear any hype about Takahashi from Tone. Takahashi, even though I thought for sure when Tone was getting involved with Nuge, I thought he was for surely going to have Takahashi featured. Like, I thought he'd be a Takahashi mark. Nope. Dave and Brian are both just like, well, Tony hates Evil. Tony just doesn't like him and stuff. Why? Doesn't even make sense. And people say, oh, it's the House of Torture stuff. No, it's not that, because that was just Evil doing John Moxley shit in Nuge. I feel like that was to appease Tony Khan, if anything. And you would think that Tone would love that stuff because that's the shit he has Moxley doing all the time. For some reason, these guys get no hype. They get no love. And then just, they're going to the Fed. What? And same thing was happening to Naito as well. Well, he won't go to AEW. He detests American-style wrestling. Boom. Nuge fans are just like, his eyes are gone, his knees are shot, he ain't shit. Or maybe it wasn't Nuge fans, but sickos were doing that shit. And it's just disappointing. It's just shitty to see. But, well, it's like good for them. I hope that they both go to the Fed. But, like, what the fuck are they? What is Takahashi going to do in the Fed? Unless he's just like a cool cruiserweight guy. Bring back the fucking cruiserweight title. I don't know what to tell you. I think right now in WWE, they have the potential to upgrade that fucking US title to mean like the heavyweight, like the United States Heavyweight Championship again. And you can have guys like LA Knight, Evil, Shinsuke, Tama Tonga. You can have those guys. It's like your second heavyweight division, cruiserweight division, Dragunov, Mello, Takahashi. Sure, have all those guys. And I'm not like, oh, they're little, they ain't shit. The weight class thing works. It can work. It's worked for so long. It still works in combat sports. Okay, boxing, it works enough to where boxing will fucking do weight classes every 3 pounds, for fuck's sakes. If we could get a cruiserweight division that is seriously not 205 Live, just filmed whatever before SmackDown starts, and who gives a shit? It's an afterthought. If you just present, and not like, oh, the cruiser, like you present it like they did in Paul Heyman's SmackDown. You present it like they did in WCW's Nitro and Thunder, right? You present it as like, this is a fucking division with prestige, and call it the light heavyweight title, right? And then you have all these guys that everyone's like, well, why isn't LA Knight world champ? Well, fucking give them the US strap, then strap them up, and then have got heavyweights fighting over that, like JC Mateo and all these guys. You have all these bodies right now. Rusev, that should be the US and IC title divisions, those guys. And then, yes, you can have a Dom in there. Yes, Rey Fenix can sneak in and become the champ. It's not like it can't happen. Look at Rey Mysterio. He became world champ and shit. It's not like it can't happen. But it's like, do you guys remember when they brought back the US title on SmackDown? The division was like Benoit, Angle, Booker T, Big Show, just whoever wasn't in the WWE title immediate or like a super over angle where it doesn't need the title or whatever. We can get back to that. The cruiserweight title can be something, and it can mean something, and it doesn't have to be just like, oh, it's the little guy belt and everyone wants that stink off them and shit. That's an old school way of looking at things.
I think that if you gave Carmelo the opportunity with a cruiserweight title to have a run like he's having with the US title, it would mean just as much to him, if not more, because he'd be the first guy establishing the legacy of one of these belts, like the new era of it. Obviously, there's a history before, but he's just like, and I love Melo. He's having bangers every week, but he's just doing the open chat. Like we've seen 15 guys do that same shit. Oh, it's the tradition Cena started. Okay, that's great. That's amazing. I just think it could be more, and we could get a money match out of those US titles. Could be money matches on PLEs, dude. Yeah, and if I say New Japan should fucking team up with WWE as well, just be willing to work with them. And if not, then yeah, I say bolster up Noah and just make a play the way you're doing with AAA. Just dive head first into it. Speaking of like people being signed and coming and going and all of this stuff, Rain Leverkusen is believed to have signed with WWE. Now, I saw a video of her cutting a bit of a promo. She's got the sauce, and she has a very unique look as far as just her hair and shit. You don't really, I don't know. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I don't know shit about her. Stick her in Evolve or whatever. And like NXT is getting bulked up and beefened up as well with some of these ID and NIL talents. They're going to need more people in Evolve. So you're going to hear about them scooping more people up off the indies. And yeah, just check out her work. And apparently she's been signed for a little bit. They just haven't unveiled it. Also, Bad Bunny who is performing the Super Bowl halftime show, which I saw a video where this guy went and asked a bunch of NFL players, what's your favorite Bad Bunny song? And literally none of them. I'm not joking. Not one of them. And this isn't like where they cut back to the same guy 4 times and make them look dumb. He asked like fucking a dozen football players in the NFL what their favorite Bad Bunny song is, and none of them knew one song. I actually couldn't believe it. So maybe it's more of a wrestling fan thing where I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. You guys saw the Chembea entrance, one of the greatest shits. I'm going to be honest though. Like, I'm not bumping Bad Bunny all the fucking time. He's got a few songs on my playlist. Chembea and Booker T though are 2 of them. Like, those are wrestling songs. You know, those are wrestling crossover songs. Let's be honest. So people are hating on him performing the halftime. I didn't really think too much about it, but yeah, if people are mad at it, I guess maybe I didn't realize. I was like, oh, he's more famous in the hip hop space and shit. I didn't realize that like none of these football players know any of his shit either. I didn't know. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be vibing out. I wonder if he's gonna bring any people out. I always look forward to when the artist also brings other people out, especially when it's like, when it's the weekend, it's like, okay, you can just sing all your hits. When it's like a hip hop guy, like a more of a rappy dude, and I know Bad Bunny's kind of like rap pop, I guess. I like when they bring out like other fucking rappers or singers and stuff like that. That's always like, I pop harder for that typically than anything else. Like Katy Perry did her thing years ago. I think she brought out Missy Elliott. It was like, that was the coolest part. But Bad Bunny though, there was rumors swirling that, oh, he might show up in AEW, and that's because some like fucking senator or something was like, we need some senator that tones, some fucking sicko politician. All these politicians are just sickos. Some guy that fucking Tone's family gives a bunch of money to and shit is like, we need Bad Bunny right away, Tony Khan, and with your endless resources in AEW soon for the fuck ice chance. Because again, AEW only trends when they're talking about WWE or for some like political shit that's just turns people off. That shit turns people off when you go one way or the other overly. It just fucking turns people off. Even Dave understands this concept. Bad Bunny is reportedly expected back in WWE very soon, sooner rather than later. So again, I mean, fucking, we've been talking about this, and I've been fantasy mark booking his return for a while now, and I've been saying I can't wait for it, especially if they go back to Puerto Rico. And so let me see. I think I got an allegedly about Bad Bunny. Yeah, if he's at WrestleMania in some sort of tag or 6-man tag sitch, don't be shocked. But he's definitely not going to be in AEW, okay, guys? He would never, when he went to that CMLL show, out of respect, he wore a fucking mask. He's not going to ever go to AEW. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if people don't want to accept that. And here's the thing with Bad Bunny. He doesn't need Tone's money. So speaking of people who don't need money, don't need any more of Tone's money, and walked away from more of Tone's money, Saraya talked about not being in the Royal Rumble amidst rumors of her WWE return as well. And she says, I wish I was a part of it. WWE has to make that decision, not me. So if one day everyone obviously wants me to go back, yeah, I think they would let her wrestle too. I think they would let her wrestle. Now, that's saying something. And shout out Wrestling with Freddie, by the way, which she was on. I don't know. You look at a guy like Danielson, and they didn't want him to wrestle, but like he basically was saying, I'm gonna leave the company. So they kind of forced his hand. And because he's such a big draw and he was so fucking over, they're like, okay, you can wrestle type shit. But you can't go crazy. And then we saw in AEW, he just went out there, went crazy. The last time we saw Danielson, he put on a blue demon mask, ran and did a suicide dive to the outside, even though his arm was still fucked up. And the doctors told him before he went out, he couldn't do anything physical. That's for real. So I know I was a little worried about her, but I think they'd let her wrestle. But as far as like week in, week out, wrestling every Raw and shit, I don't know. That'd be awesome. But because again, I'm a big Paige fan. Like I know there's a dark period in the history of wrestling where people weren't really watching and stuff. But I mean, Saraya in NXT, like she's part of the reason why I ever watched or knew what NXT was. Like I saw it in the competition early days a couple times. I was like, what is this shit? I didn't really get it. I was like, I'm not into this. But then when it became like its own developmental that Triple H was booking, it was like Emma and Paige having bangers, fucking Bo Dallas and Neville having bangers. So I'm always going to be a fan of hers. I love that Fighting with My Family movie with Florence Pugh as well. And so I think she's a positive to have in WWE. But again, as GM of NXT, I think I'd like that more than her in the ring week in and week out. But her having like a match or two, or having a match at WrestleMania, like a build up to a retirement match at a Mania next year, and a fucking, or maybe not even a retirement, quote unquote, but just like, this is I put someone over. And you know, she's had a Hall of Fame worthy career as well already. And it's not even like she's old or washed. It's just, I'm worried about her fucking health more than anything, but she looks good. We watched a video of it, but yeah, she wanted to be a part of it and she just never got asked. So maybe next year's Rumble, we get a wild Saraya. Until then, I guess she's just, doing cons and making towns and doing her thing. Devon Dudley, and this is via Duke Loves Wrestling, Devon Dudley revealed that before his Royal Rumble debut, Royce Keys, a.k.a. Powerhouse Hobbs, was frustrated and angry with his AEW run because he felt he wasn't being used properly. No shit. You don't say. And speaking of new signees and developmental talent and whatnot, WWE has announced that the March 4 episode of Evolve will be the second Succession special edition of the show, and it will also serve as the season premiere. There's so much goddamn wrestling to watch. I haven't even got around to Battle Riot yet. I guess we will have to watch Succession too. But goddamn. Good goddamn. There's so many PLEs and events, and it's a lot, man. It's almost like I got to give up AEW soon, or I can't even keep... No, I'm joking. Just being a dickhead. So Hulk Hogan's son, Nick Balea, speaking of training in the PC and youngsters, I don't think he's that young. Performance center this week. No word why. And probably just visiting, probably just dipping his toes. People need to understand what Hulk Hogan did for WWE almost trumps whatever you feel about Hulk or Nick Hogan or Brooke Hogan, outside of the pro wrestling business. So again, am I like, yes, Nick Hogan, like we need Hogan's son? I'm one of these dudes, like even back in the WCW day when they're like Ric Flair's kids and shit, I don't care about. I'm like, are you fucking good? I don't get hyped just because you're someone's kid. We showed a video of Dean Malenko's kid in Japan wrestling, and that's awesome. Great. She looks like she's got the stuff. Can she sink or swim though? That's all I'm interested in. Fucking throw her in NXT, throw her in Evolve. I'm with it, but how people get booked, what they can deliver in different storylines and situations. matter a lot as well. Some wrestlers, some vets in the game, we were talking about the youngsters, but some vets in the game had some things to say the last couple weeks here. And Piper Niven provided an injury update. And she said, "This is all I've done and all I've wanted to do since I was 16 years old. And I can't imagine doing anything else. I still love it as much as I did the first day I started." And Piper Niven may never wrestle again, unfortunately, which is incredibly unfortunate. I don't think she's going to, if I had to guess. And she says, "Do I want to come back? Of course I do. This is all I've done and all I've wanted to do. So all this to say, I hope so." Keep your fingers crossed for her. She's got some bad neck shit going on, I believe, neck and back shit. I just hope she comes out on the other side. But again, it's like she could just be a heater on the outside of the ring that doesn't have to bump around too much. No, is there no point in that? You just transition her into like a coach for the women or something. If she can't go, she'll always have a job in WWE. It's just her mind, her ability for wrestling. You want her to be like the monstrous big girl. She can do that. You want her to be the dewdrop, the fun loving, the girl you want to hug. You want her to be part of the fucking Slagent P or whatever her name is. She can do that, Shout out Piper Niven. And it's unfortunate because, again, she never really got her big like world title run or anything like that some people anticipated. Tony Khan really wanted her to get her in AEW. And her neck is fucked up and you can't take that lightly. Big E. Yeah, I heard allegedly that they were talking about this guy having a match where he teamed up with another legend to fight the Bude. And not like recently, like this would have been something they were talking about before when he was seeing progress and whatnot. But again,
wrestling's not fake.
He confirms that he's done. And I don't mean to laugh, but fucking Xavier Woods. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Okay, let's get through the sad part and then we'll laugh at what Austin Creed posted underneath, because this is just pure savagery, but they're fucking brothers. So Big E says, "I entered the pro wrestling industry at age 23 with an injury history that included a torn left ACL, torn right ACL, torn left pec, and a broken right patella. At 39, I'm well aware that I will one day have to pay the piper. I put my body through a lot and somehow I feel great. I don't battle daily pain. I'm able to function normally and healthfully. I'm eternally grateful for the wonderful career I stumbled into. I pray for..." I don't mean to fucking laugh, but just the look on Xavier Woods' face, dude. He's just, oh my God. I love Bude so much because they're just such haters. It's just Silky Johnson. I pray, those who know. I pray for all my fellow athletes and performers who have not had the same good fortune. A sincere thank you to everyone who has taken the time to follow my in-ring career. It was an immeasurable gift to get to perform for you all. And just thank you, Big E. Thank you, Big E. Fucking brought the free bird rule back. An awesome singles wrestler, an amazing, incredible tag wrestler as well. But here is Xavier Woods' reaction. Oh my God, it's not even funny. Oh, he's told you, he says. God damn, just savage. And yeah, thank you, Big E. Making those tag belts mean something with the fucking Usos again for a lot of years after people had felt as though they had fallen off a little bit. So speaking of falling off and veterans and people playing their roles, Chelsea Green addresses Michael Hayes' comments about her on WWE Unreal. And yeah, if you're Chelsea Green, it's got to be disappointing to hear shit like that. But at the same time, she takes it in stride. Later on, we're going to look at more veterans. Well, not even that too much later on, but shortly, I should say. We're going to take a look at some more veterans and what they have to say about Unreal, as well as like the condition of the locker room as far as like morally and mentally right now. So let's take a listen to what Chelsea Green had to say. And a lot of people are pointing to this and what Roman said
like, oh, look, the roster's unhappy and shit. I don't buy into any of that for a second.
One of the WWE producers said some like less than flattering things about you, and then about, I guess, what was it that he was saying? I guess that you're just there to help the other wrestlers or something along those lines. And what was it like watching that back?
This is tea, ladies, because I have not done media since this came out, and this really ruffled some feathers. So one of the head producers of WWE, his name is Michael Hayes. He works very closely with our boss, Triple H. And he basically on Unreal said, you know, Chelsea makes the most out of her time, so we don't need to give her 30 minutes. We give her 30 seconds, and she does the same work, which is great.
It's a blessing and a curse. It's like the Andre the Giant curse. Like, Buddy just goes in there. Yes, he had some matches where dudes were slamming him, and he was fucking early on. He was, when he, you know, his knees and legs and back worked, he was flip-flopping and flying a little bit, but there's just some dudes you get so, and guys and gals you get so over that it's like the less you do, the better it is. And Chelsea Green is unfortunately, now should Michael Hayes be saying that on the reality fucking show when he's her boss? I don't think so. I think that's not a good look, but is it reality? Yeah, it is. And she's amazing. And if she became world champ, I wouldn't be surprised. And you could do so much more. Like, because she makes so much out of so little, that's why she should be champ, you could argue as well. And I'm right there with you. At the same time, I do see it as the belt, like, elevates people. Green doesn't need any belt to, she almost like, well, she does, not almost, she elevates these belts. That's why they put the mixed tag belt on her and Ethan Page, because they just elevate shit they're touching. That's why she's the U.S. champion. She elevated that belt when it was a snoozer. You know, Ethan Page, same thing. He's the North American champ because he elevates that shit. He elevates people he works with. So does Chelsea Green. And sometimes less is more, especially in wrestling. And it's like, it's a gift and a curse. She'll always have a fucking job. Didn't Michael Hayes say it as well? He's like, was it him who said it? Somebody said it, I think, on Unreal, and I'll match that sentiment. If I had to pick, like, okay, Phil, you're the new booker. You get 5 guys and 5 girls. Chelsea Green is one of my top 5, hands down. Any 5 girls in the world right now, any 5 guys to start your Fed for the first year. Chelsea Green's right there. Like, I'm picking her. That's like the first name that comes to mind. But he that's your boss saying that. That's fucked up because you know what the window is. You know, like, all they see for you. He just reveals it, and it's like, shit.
Because she's not meant to be here for 30 minutes. She's not meant to be the top girl. She's meant to elevate all those girls to be in that top position, to be a main eventer, which, you know, it's crazy because I'm a self-aware human being. So I know my kind of like place on the totem pole, in this fake hierarchy that is wrestling, but to actually hear it, to actually hear that there was a ceiling put on me, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
you can't help but be pissed off and a little upset and just aggravated at the fact that you thought that there was maybe a chance that there wasn't that ceiling, that maybe it was all in your head, and then it was confirmed, and it wasn't confirmed to me. It was confirmed on national television.
Yeah, that's what's shitty. That's what's shitty about it. At the same time, there's always the Kofi Kingston effect where someone gets hurt. You know, she slips in. It's so over. Everyone's like, they have to win. And that could totally happen for her.
One of the WWE producers.
It's not like she's not holding belts. When you have a U.S. title and you have a women's IC title on the other show, and Chelsea Green's got to come and elevate those belts again. She doesn't give a fuck. And it's like, yes, Jade is the WWE champion right now. Is that belt helping raise her and Jordan Grace? It is. It's elevating them. Whereas Chelsea Green, if she had the WWE title right now, could be elevating it. Because I got to be honest, on the SmackDown side of things, it's kind of, well, Jordan's starting to cook shit up. I got to be honest. Like, they're starting to get things going. Julia hopefully gets in the mix a little bit. But again, we're just seeing all the women's champions overlap. So it's like, it's all one division. Why have multiple titles? Just fucking unify some of those shits. But yeah, shout out Chelsea Green. And so some of the other veterans had some shit to say about the current locker room. and whatnot, and Unreal. So CM Punk was on ESPN Pat McAfee show, and he was saying that he really doesn't like Unreal. Also, Seth Rollins made it clear multiple times that he fucking hates Unreal, and he hates that like the gorilla area should be sacred. I'm glad that's how they feel, because Tony Khan couldn't wait to do All Access, for instance. And I know that some people are probably like, oh, WWE couldn't wait to do this behind the scenes shit. But realistically, it took them a long time to really show even what it's like in Gorilla. Other than like before, you would see clips of it, but it would just be like two guys hug quick, or a guy's like warming up before going through the curtain. They would never really. The craziest shit we ever saw was like Brock throwing that title at Vince, which like I don't think they put that out there either. Or maybe they did, because how else did we see it, right? So they had to have put it out in some capacity. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, to go back there and show how things are planned and Triple H dressing people down. I'm glad that guys like Punk and Rhodes and Cena and Rollins are all like, nah, I don't really like that shit. And all you can do is hope that that resonates with some of the younger generation as we move into like this new era of WWE with all these guys retiring to Gunther. Anyways,
what I don't like is peeling back the curtain a little bit too much. Like, I don't necessarily like, to me, Gorilla is sacred. So they shoot so much stuff in Gorilla, I don't think is a lot of the time anybody's business. But humanizing people like Charlotte Flair or Rhea Ripley and showing the human behind the character that they play on TV, I think that stuff's beautiful. What I don't like,
yeah, and that's the other thing. It lets you see these people not in character, and that's what killed celebrity in the first place. Like, there's no aura. No celebrities have aura. They're just overexposed. You know their thoughts on everything. You know what they fucking have for lunch every day. It's just, there's no. And now with the Epstein files, we know what they're all into. We know all the sicko shit that they be doing. It's an aura killer doing that sort of thing. Roman Reigns, though, a lot of people say that there's turmoil in the locker room of WWE right now, but Roman Reigns checks that. And he says, we're all thick-skinned alphas back here. Thick-skinned alphas, dude. This is fucking Andrew Tate now.
Find that solution. And usually it happens out there. So nobody who's been
fucking
here...
Roman Reigns out here red pilling the manosphere right now. I don't know.
For a long time has thin skin. You just learn that's just what it is. So we're all thick-skinned alphas here. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff. You're going to hear a lot of jabs here and there. And when it comes to it, I'm the slyest with it. I'll sit there and I'll pepper you without you even knowing. You're like, oh, damn, what'd he say? He just Lil Wayne my ass. But no, it is what it is. And when you've been here and you've done what I've done, you built that equity to you know, share your opinion. The shit I think and the shit I say matters, you know what I mean? And I earned that. Nobody gave it to me. I had to take it. It wasn't easy. That's what everybody thinks. He's gone. It was not easy when I got here. John Cena, Randy Orton, Big Show, Kane, sweetheart. But still, like, I had to pry this shit from the grips of the veterans. Nobody else did it but me.
And people forget about Roman. And they're like, oh, he's part-time. He has to come back. Guys, he was on the roads. Like, he was in the last era of those savage fucking house show loops where you're working like every day. You're gone like 200 days out of the fucking year or whatever. He was working those loops, man, doing like hardcore matches against Braun Strowman and shit, picking his big ass up every night. Like, that's who was headlining those house show loops and shit. He was doing that, man. And he put the work in for sure. Like, if there was ever a guy, you know, he's one of the last of the Mohicans, as they say, No, but think about it. We're going to get like Braun Breaker and these guys are coming up in an era where it's not even like there's a shitload of these house shows that they had to be doing. And a lot of people are starting to advocate to bring those back. I hope people are listening to Cody Rhodes. We should be bringing the house show loops back. Even if you got to fill it with like NXT guys, mostly just to get them out there. I'm down with that. And just like pepper in some fucking, some main roster talent. That's cool too. But
Roman, he did that. You know, him and Seth were on the fucking were on the and Rhodes did that as well. He hit the indies, man, and he was putting guys over in fucking obscure indies all over the place. He went everywhere to keep his brand alive and keep it hot, and that's why he got support wherever he went. Like when he showed up in Impact, everyone was supporting him. When he showed up in Ring of Honor, everyone was behind Rhodes. Everyone was tracking what he was doing right when he left WWE until he returned. That's why it was such a big deal. And so yeah, Roman deserves his time off and shit. You know, he deserves to be in Hollywood if he wants to be, and to just pop up and win the Rumble and fucking, he earned that shit.
Say what I want.
So there you go. And of course, like Roman, a little bit, like if you meet him in person, I guarantee he's not a cocky asshole like that. Of course, he's in character a bit. Wrestlers are always in character. They have to be. It's all a work, right? So it's part of the allure and a part of what they do so masterfully. And so I wouldn't get too worked up over him being stern on the current landscape. You know, he was like the last closest thing to Hulk Hogan. It's like him and Cena were the last closest things to Hulk Hogan of this era. So if he says, yo, people need to step it up, they better step it up. They're booking Oba phenomenally. I believe they have the potential to book Hobbs phenomenally. They've booked, you know, people like Julia, maybe not so well. It depends who you ask. Certain people have been booked spectacularly, though. Like a Braun Breaker, I would say he's been booked really well. I mean, he has the fans are behind him. The people are behind him, even though he's a fucking bad guy. They're really into his shit. He genuinely, you can see his impressive athletic feats. Like I know people, my homeboy JJ, I know he'll shit on Breaker. I don't know. I think guys like Oba and Breaker are just the next best shot at a guy like a Roman, but that's going to take time. And he's like, people need to step it up now, work or shoot. Like, he is right. Who's the next guy? And that's what John Cena was trying to instill on everybody. Speaking of stars and who's the next up, though, Logan Paul, he denies being the masked man at the Royal Rumble. Okay. And this was on Impulsive with Big Mike Facts. Big Mike.
Looks like a guy.
I'm just here. I used to sell beanbag chairs. That's a fact. He says he wasn't the masked guy. Now, some people were saying that he could have been the dude in the mask who attacked, and that's a theory out there that attacked Braun Breaker. That very well could be the case. I just feel like the person under the mask had a bushy beard, just the way the mask was fitting the face. It just seems like it's Rollins or Jake Paul, but it's not Rollins. They didn't fly him all the way out to Saudi just to do that, right? I would love if it was Jake Paul. I think the Paul brothers versus the Usos at WrestleMania for the tag titles is big money. That's a money tag match. The Paul brothers go over as well. If it is Paul, sweet. I'm here for that too, and I'll tell you why. Or Paul, I guess Logan. They're fucking interchangeable. If it is him, I'm down with that too, and I'll tell you, I just don't think it was tall enough to be him either. The guy just didn't seem like Logan Paul's a big dude, you know? If it is Logan, I'm down because we just need to get Breaker away from the Vision. That's what I'm sort of foreseeing. My vision is that they are getting Breaker away from the Vision, and then you just kind of push him as this tweener guy, and then eventually everyone accepts him. We love this guy, even though he's a badass and just takes no shit. And then he, like I said, he ends up teaming up with Seth. He ends up maybe feuding with Seth one-on-one, but maybe they got to team up when Seth comes back, because Seth is going to get monster pops when he comes back. They're going to fucking love him. He's not going to go heel again, which kind of sucks or maybe he does. Maybe he just flips everyone right away. But we know that they're all singing his entrance. They're all singing his song. He's going to get a huge pop because people are going to miss him and stuff. I just think Seth having it revealed like the Vision was trying to usurp him in a way or something, whatever the fuck. And then it's like Logan Paul's group, I think could be the way to go if I was booking, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm just down for the journey, but Logan Paul works too for me. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Because we're breaking Breaker away from the Vision and we're just getting him like he's his own guy. You want to stick a mouthpiece with him, sure. You can cut promos though. To me, I mean, I'm looking at the way they booked Oba as well. He just fucking squashed Kit Wilson. And then like on Raw, he beat the Viking Raiders, both of them at the same time. Like it wasn't even an official match. He just came out and fucking beat the hell out of them. I love it. The only thing I would have did different was the team that was supposed to challenge the Viking Raiders should have started walking down the ramp like, what the fuck, you stole our match. And you could even do this during commercial. And then Oba just wrecks their shit too, right? And then you upload the clip, whatever, it's international, and then you upload the clip on the socials and shit. And it's him just tossing two jobbers around on the fucking stage. That would have been cool too. But the way but I mean, that's just like something you'd pitch in creative, and maybe you do it, maybe you don't. What's really cool about the way they're booking Oba is that he makes his entrance and then he beats the shit out of guys. Then he finishes his entrance after he beats the shit out of them. Do you guys notice that? He does the stance, the spotlight stance or whatever, where the lights go out. That's in NXT. That's like part of his entrance. But what he's doing is he's going out there beating people's asses so fast and then hitting his pose like fucking Michael Jackson. And then finishing his entrance with the music going. I fucking love the way they've been booking Oba. But yeah, Logan Paul insists he's not the masked man, the second masked
Let's
man.
take a guy like Braun Breaker, for example, my partner in the Vision.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not the masked man. I'm not the masked man, guys. I see the commentary online. I'm not the masked man. And if I am, that's a shock to me because I don't remember doing that.
It's green shirt guy.
It's probably green shirt guy. Motherfucker couldn't afford the seats on the other side.
So they made him work.
Got priced out by the Saudis. I didn't see him sitting on the,
Was
on
he
the
not
side.
there?
Oh, he was on the opposite
Oh,
side.
he was in the cheap seats?
Yes. He was in the seats on the opposite side.
You know, I saw that go viral.
Couldn't get on TV this time, buddy.
Wow.
Yes, get him.
I love that.
Turkey took his seat.
Yeah,
dude.
facts.
Wow.
Let's take a guy like
Facts. Speaking of other stuff going on in WWE, in the world of WWE, before we get into some other news and controversies, Jade Cargill versus Jordynne Grace for the women's championship will be on next week's SmackDown, which they're going to be on Sci-Fi for a couple weeks. Their ratings are probably going to be the shits, and so they're trying to bulk up these cards a little bit to keep some viewership. It'll just be on Netflix for me. So nordvpn.com/ProWrestleTime, 70% off 2 years. Get NordVPN, switch your thing, just pick Canada, and then watch that shit on Netflix, folks, and don't get caught up in this sci-fi bullshit. Or watch it on Sci-Fi if you want to support and help bolster the rating or whatever, or boost the rating. I think they'll do probably a terrible number, and then we're gonna have to deal with fucking retards in the IWC for a week or whatever. But whatever, this stuff blows up. It's not a big deal. I just kind of wish Jordan and Jade would get more like, here's a PLE match, but also what WWE is doing. And I know people were mad at like the Priest versus Black stuff, but they're trying to rotate guys in a way where it's like, this is the shit you care about on our TV show, this is the shit you care about on our PLEs, and then the PLE stuff, like you're gonna get some of those guys wrestling. Like Randy Orton just qualified for the Elimination Chamber, right? He was in the first triple threat qualifier because he's got between that match on SmackDown and the fucking Chamber, he's gonna have to rest his back. You know, he'll wrestle a match. You know, Drew might have a match, Rhodes might have a few matches, but typically they're saved for the PLE. And that just goes to what our boy Husey was saying about the way they really look at the shows as like, here's our TV roster, here's our PLE roster.
Allegedly.
I think that the US title could mean more. And I hate to go back to that, but I think that those belts, the Intercontinental title, it's okay just sitting on Dirty Dom. But after this, what comes after it's done sitting on Dirty Dom? No Liv Morgan. Ba-dum-ps. And yeah, these girls are going to get a chance to shine on fucking Sci-Fi. Could be worse, right? So speaking of other news and whatnot, there are 2 more PLEs in Saudi Arabia scheduled for 2026. Hosting the Royal Rumble actually added an event to the calendar year for Saudi. And so that'll be probably a boost in money, or maybe they owed them a show or something. I'm not sure exactly. There's a rollover. It's like minutes on your pay-as-you-go phone. It fucking rolls over with the Saudis. I don't know the deal they've got with WWE, but yeah, I'm assuming people get pay bumps when they go out there. So good for everybody for going out there and making money. And the crowd was insane. I love insane crowds. Not all the time. Some of them got to be chill, or else you don't appreciate the insane ones. But there's going to be 2 more PLEs. I assume one of them is going to be like Crown Jewel or King, Queen of the Ring. And then what else is scheduled? There's nothing scheduled for Saudi.
this year that we know about. So what do you guys guess? Like Money in the Bank in Saudi or something like that? It's going to be a bigger one. That's what she said. Oh, go. WWE 2K26 is coming out. Well, let's just take a look. Here's what happened in AAA. This is Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice and La Toxicas, right? That's their names? La Hiedra. And here's what's going on over there. And then you see Mr. Iguana. Well, you see the cake. And then Mr. Iguana in the green in the green rep shirt. It popped me. I wanted to bring it to the show. I don't know. Crowd's hot as fuck for all that as well. Yeah, they've done wonders for AAA. So WWE 2K26, they added pretty much battle passes, I guess you could. They're called ringside passes, but they're not quite the same, but it's essentially a battle pass pretty much. And people are fucking pissed at 2K for doing this. And another crazy thing in the Epstein files was whatever. This isn't even conspiracy. This is what came out. He is like a big reason why there's microtransactions in gaming and Call of Duty. Like I think Call of Duty really set off the microtransactions, and he was like a big proponent. It was like this big fucking, and I'm not kidding. That's like a real thing. Gamergate 2.0. But yeah, they're going full force on the fucking microtransactions. There's like, people are fucking mad. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details of what this entails, but for you gamers out there, battle pass in a wrestling game, I just think that's dumb. We need to go back to WWE Shop where it's like diggity dog, and you got to pay like $500,000 for a hoe, for one of Godfather's hoes and all of that. We need to go back to those days where you got to grind to get goofy characters and unlock parts and finish a quest, and then this person's unlocked. That's the way to do it. Or like complete 100 matches, and then you get what you get. But people are pissed. My suggestion, just from looking into it, just pay for the fucking Monday Night War edition. It's like $150. It's crazy, but it just like you get everything whenever new content drops, and then the battle pass, you get like a premium pass thing as well. It's so fucking stupid. It's very Fortnite-ish. And one of the things that's stupid about it is they're like, Hulk Hogan 2002 will be on the battle pass, and you unlock him when you rank up your tier. And I don't think the grinding will be mind-numbingly hard, but it's like, buddy, Hulk Hogan 2002's on the last game. Like, I can just play the last game and wrestle with that. Why would he be on like an unlock on the fucking tier list thing? So whatever. People are outraged. It's outrageous, goddammit. Everything's outrageous. I'm outraged. So speaking of outrageous, we're going to get into some outrageous shit. But first, a female-fronted metal group called Twisted F8 covered Sexy Boy. Twisted Fate, get it? They covered Sexy Boy by Shawn Michaels and Sherry Martel and Jim Johnston. No, wasn't he the guy who... Okay, I'm digging it so far, you know.
I've got the moves that really move me. He sends chills up and down my spine. He's just my sexy boy. He's not your boy toy. He's just my sexy boy. He's not your boy toy. He makes me hot.
Oh, yeah, that shit's banging right there. I mean, come on. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but shout out Twisted Fate.